Coach Chris Rusiewicz, Northwest Guilford Vikings, coaching practice today, working hard with this team, getting this team ready for the upcoming season. Talk about the way the team looks to this point. You see the guys right now, what they've done this summer to be ready for this. How ready are they? And what's your thoughts so far early in this practice session?
Well, I think from my perspective, after the season ended, we took that time to really establish the culture of where we want to be, and our kids have embraced it through the weight room all winter, through spring workouts, and of course through summer. And then, of course, we went to a camp last week, and I really got to see them come together, one, unify, but also we're able this year to work on kind of the advanced stuff of football versus just the techniques and schematics that we had installed last year. So we feel we're way ahead of where we need to be. Our kids are working hard. I think they're in a better shape than they've ever been since I've been here.
How much do you have back this year, and how much do you have to replace? I know you got to replace the quarterback. I remember that guy.
That would be the big question mark is making sure we find a quarterback. I think after that, I think our O-line, majority of those guys are back that played, and we played with like 8-9 guys last year, and we only lost one of them. Receivers, obviously losing Trent Cloud, but with him getting injured and Rakim stepping up, we feel like we have a good crew there. We did a nice job developing our kids. We have a lot of depth, and now we're just trying to figure out how to utilize that depth. But I think we're very, very strong right now with 110 kids in camp right now.
What about that young receiver, the freshman you kind of alluded to, who was here last year? Is he back with you again this year?
Yeah, Rakim Hammock, he is back. We're going to utilize him in a lot of different ways right now. We just got to make sure he's in shape to be able to do a lot of different things, including defense.
And how about that quarterback spot? Several guys working on that one right now then, right?
Yeah, we got two. Anders Mitchell is the guy that projected to be the guy, and then we have a sophomore, Pharrell Price, that's pushing right behind him. And right now, if it was today, we think we'd have a two-quarterback system, but we're hoping one of them will elevate here in the next couple weeks.
And who stepped up to be the top running back so far?
Honestly, we got a three-man race, and there's a chance all three are going to play a lot. We have two guys, McKinley Vance and Easton Dean, a junior and a sophomore, and then we have a senior, Nathan Cox, who's a bigger back at 200 pounds, that I think will give us a different perspective of what we're trying to do. But I think we'll have a three-man horse back there.
What about your defense? How much experience coming back on defense this year?
We had a lot of experience. We had a lot of depth. We developed a lot of guys. I think for us the big key is making sure that they advance what we did last year. At the beginning of the year, we were still trying to trust the system. I think we're there right now, but Austin Jackson is going to be a key returner. Brandon Dowers is a very smart free safety we had. Elijah Owens at corner is a returner. Our defensive line is probably our strongest in terms of we have about 9 guys that can start for us, which means we'll do a lot of rotating. Colin Shokes was a 3-year starter at offensive line. We utilized him, put him on defense as a starter, and he'll do some things different on offense for us to help us in the run and pass game. But we should be a lot faster on defense than we were last year. We're just going to see how physical we will be in the first scrimmage.
Kind of close with this. Any of those guys in that middle school championship team last year moved up this year to play? They'll be in the 9th grade. Those guys going to help you out on varsity, and how good will they be on JV?
Well, a lot of them have to show maturity, and that takes usually through preseason to figure it out. I think there's a couple that we're looking at. You got DeMarcus Boyles, is doing some nice things. He's a receiver. We also think Zion Manning is probably the biggest guy on the team right now, but we just got to get some of that baby fat off of him and get him in shape, and I think he can help us on the offensive line for depth as well.
How about right now? What's next on the agenda in practice? What do you got coming up next? So you can take us to your next step here. What are you doing next with the kids?
So these 2 days, obviously, as long as we're in helmets, we're just going to do a lot of read and read tempo, reading keys, getting to where we got to go. As soon as we get the shoulder pads on, we'll start doing a lot more situational stuff early on to put our guys in some situations, good and bad, and teach them how to, one, face adversity, but also how to compete depending on the situation.
As we're flying through this interview, how about you got a scrimmage over at Grimm's to come up in a couple weeks, right?
Correct, yeah. 16th of August, we're playing Oak Grove, I guess, at the last game, yes.
And your first game of the season, regular season, who do you play?
Burlington Williams, and it's going to be a challenge for us. And they got a great quarterback. They're well coached, and it would be at 3rd place, and I know they got a good environment there. So hopefully we can fix some of the mistakes we had last year and make some adjustments and turn out winners this time.
Precious time, Coach. Thank you for your time today. Good to see you. Good to be with you, and keep up good. So remember the old days at Guilford College, practicing down in the hollow in the morning, sometimes out on New Guard Road, and sometimes later practicing on the game field. That's usually about 6 in the morning.
That's right. That's right. Well, we'll do some morning practices here too. I think it's good to get these guys up early and give them some of those evenings off.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.